This was supposed to be just another week at the Chateau. Anna designing, me building, and a bit of boat work sprinkled in. But it didn't quite turn out that way. What started as a normal week ended up becoming one of the most stressful moments we've had in a long time.
So this week I am finally going to be getting creative again and starting a new print project. It's one that means a lot to me. It's got a lot of sentimental value. I want to revisit and rework this print behind me, which is the rose print that I created for our green guest room. And this is the first lino print stamp that I ever created. It came about because I was scrolling through Instagram recently and I had the realization that it is almost exactly 6 years since I created this print, which is quite crazy. It brought me back to that moment of who I was in that time and thinking of the fear that I had about getting creative again, having spent so much time looking after my kids and having kind of lost myself a little bit and lost my creativity during that time. And then allowing myself to do this project, even though we were on a super tight budget, we were very restricted on time. We were in a huge rush to try to finish these rooms. I remember Philip saying, no, I think you should do it. And I was scared. I was thinking, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if it's going to work. What if it's a big waste of time? And what if it looks terrible? But I allowed myself, and thankfully it worked out. But I also remember just falling in love with the lino block printing and falling in love with the carving, because there's a beauty in that, in the process, in seeing the stamp slowly creating the print and it being repeated over and over, and in the quality of it, because it's not perfect. There are imperfections, but that's the beauty of it. I do remember that huge satisfaction and that boost in my confidence when I realized that I had managed to pull it off, when I saw it going up on the walls. It's one of our favorite rooms in the Chateau. As I only did this very quickly, I did this in the space of 2 weeks, the fastest print project ever. Obviously, it led me on to doing multiple print projects and multiple wallpapers, even creating my own course and selling my own wallpaper. It's led on to so many amazing things for me. So it was really a catalyst moment. So this wallpaper design it's really close to my heart, and so I would like to rework this design, keeping the spirit of it, but maybe just improving a few things, and maybe using it for one of the rooms that we're going to be decorating for our future hotel, but perhaps in a different colorway. That's my plan, and yeah, I'm really excited. One of the mistakes that I made when I first made this design was that I didn't make it exactly half of the width of the size of my wallpaper. So I remember that I had to literally tape together 2 pieces of wallpaper so that each time when I was printing, it could go slightly over onto the next sheet. So that's one thing that I need to rectify. It will make my life a lot easier going forward. So I need to kind of resize this. What I'm going to do is just going to try to re-sketch out the design following my initial design, which is here.
Finally, the barrel house is ready to be cladded in wood. All I have to do now is to measure the house and buy the wood. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Philip, why are you measuring? You get it wrong for sure. Maybe I will. Some people mentioned that I might have a condition called dyscalculia. I don't know, it's this form of dyslexia for numbers. I do have an interesting relationship with numbers, which might explain as well why whenever I buy parts for my sailboat or my bikes, it seems fairly cheap. But when Anna buys clothes, I always think she spends a fortune. But anyways, let's do that now. And I do my best, I try my best, I double and triple check, and then we're gonna order the wood. Okay, old-fashioned, prehistoric measuring techniques. 5. 5 meters and 3 meters, 8 meters. I'm saying it out loud, so if at the end the calculations are wrong, we are all in together. 5 meters and 3 meters, 8 meters plus 380, 11.8, right? Yes. 250, 2.5, 3.5, 3.6, better more than, not enough. What was that? 5 point and paar zerquetschte. I think I have all the measurements. Are we good? Are we good? Okay, thanks. Benoit and his friend are here, and we are starting today with the cladding of the facade. But before we can start with the final wood cladding, we need to install these little beams that are called liteaux in French. And because we want to have the final wood vertical, we need to create a horizontal base so we are able to nail them on. You will understand. So the old wall here is like slightly leaning inwards. And we decided to make this straight. And so we have to compensate with a little bit of structure to have a flat surface for the final layer. Qu'est-ce qui se passe avec tes mains, Benoît?
Hein?
Qu'est-ce qui se passe avec tes mains?
Rien, j'ai froid, mais j'ai deux doigts là qui ont très froid.
Ah oui, oui, c'est
ils
ça.
ne se réchauffent pas, donc
Oui. Ah oui.
Comme ça ne se réchauffe pas, je préfère les mettre à l'abri.
Ah bah, c'est normal, c'est normal.
Ouais.
Ouais. Il manque deux petits bouts de... Tu vois, la longueur, il manque un tout petit peu là.
Non, je vais te dire la vérité, je trouvais que mes doigts étaient pas alignés correctement.
Oui.
Donc je me suis dit, qu'est-ce que je fais? Est-ce que je les aligne correctement? Et ça me permet de me servir de mes doigts comme niveau.
Avec la raboteuse.
Voilà,
Yeah.
t'as tout compris.
Excellent, excellente initiative.
Ouais.
Ouais.
Ah, t'es d'accord avec moi?
Et combien de jours pour guérir?
Normalement dans 10 jours.
Dans 10 jours? Bon, c'est
Ouais.
bon.
Ouais.
Ouais.
Ouais. Bah, à l'hôpital, quand ils me connaissent maintenant.
Et-
Ah, comment ça va, Benoît?
C'est lequel aujourd'hui?
Et il y a même l'infirmière d'urgence qui m'a dit ah, c'est vachement bien parce que là, maintenant, pour faire les pansements, c'est plus pratique.
So in the meantime, Benoit also finished this side. There's only one facade left at the back, but before we can do this, we need to fill the hole where I made the little wall last week, if you remember. Pourquoi c'est coupé là sur le côté?
Comment?
C'est quoi cette coupe sur le...
Pour ça, là?
Oui?
Ah, j'ai aucune idée, mon lapin.
Ah, c'était quand j'ai démonté la porte.
Et pourquoi t'as pas démonté la ferrure?
Parce que je me suis dit, ça renforce énormément.
D'accord.
T'as mal coupé, c'est ça?
Ouais. Les doigts ou le bout de bois?
Ah oui.
Vas-y. Encore. Parfait. Elles sont là-bas, les filles à frapper?
Les filles à frapper?
Non, les grosses, les plus grosses. Ouais.
Ah, les chevilles à frapper. Les chevilles à frapper?
Oui.
J'ai compris les filles à frapper.
Non, je ne suis pas encore maso.
Bravo, super.
A quick thank you to Ferreo for sponsoring our video with this week's ad, and keep watching if you want to hear about their amazing spring sale deals, plus our extra 30% discount. For over 2 years now, I have been using the Luna 4, the UFO 3 and the FAQ 202 as part of my simple skincare routine. Several times a week, I use the FAQ 202, which is an FDA-cleared silicone LED face mask with clinically proven results. I apply the FAQ red light peptide serum before every treatment. It contains photoreactive reactive ingredients which make the LEDs even more efficient. It's super comfortable to wear when I read or watch TV because it's light, wireless, and the silicone is soft and fits so nicely to my face. It has 8 different wavelengths, including 1 NIR infrared, so you can target every skin concern like dark spots, acne, redness, and it even has an anti-aging pro-longevity effect which boosts collagen production. After using the mask, I always feel like my skin feels firmer, smoother, and has a lovely healthy glow. Now is the best time to shop. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description for Foray's amazing spring deals. And don't forget to also use my code ANNAHT30 for an extra 30% off almost all products, stackable on sale items too.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Yes, 5 o'clock. And that's exactly where the mic ran out of battery, which is unfortunate because what I was saying was I left at 5 in the morning to spend the day on the boat. And after everything that happened last year, I really wanted to go through things properly and make sure everything is dialed in before our summer trip. At the top of the list was the rigging. Those are the cables that hold the mast in place. And ours are still the original ones, almost 20 years old now. So replacing them felt like the one thing we absolutely shouldn't postpone. But as it turns out, losing the mic in the car was actually the smallest problem of the day. It's still not very light and it's very cold, I must say. But I'm happy to be back at the boat. Here we are. Hello, boatie. So in about an hour and a half, the rigger is coming and I need to get everything ready so we don't lose any time to get the mast off. And the reason for being a little bit under pressure is because there's a crane, a hand-driven crane. It only works on high tide because when it's low tide, there's not enough water for my boat. So we have about 3 hours to do the whole process if you don't want to get stuck underneath the crane. I need to get ready. So I didn't come up in a storm. And now let's see how it looks inside. Everything's alright. And now let's see how is it going with our electric system. Why are you not?
Hello.
Oh, here we are. 95%. So no shore power, and despite having no shore power coming in, we are 95% charged, which means that our solar panels did a good job. And now I need to hurry up to clean this absolute mess here. But priority getting the mast ready to be taken off. And the mast is full of cables because there is instruments on top of the mast, and all the cables for these instruments come down the mast and are connected to the boat electronics. So there's a way to detach all of these, and yeah, then we can lift it off. Okay, are we good now? I think I found all the cables that go to the mast. Yes, I'm pretty sure this is everything we need. What is that? The rigger is here, he just called me and he's waiting for me at the crane, so I'm gonna sail the boat along to the crane. And let's see if the engine starts after so long. Anyway, take the lines loose. Taking the lines off a boat, it's not obvious because you need to see where the wind comes from and which lines you take off first. Otherwise, before you can start, the wind blows you already into the neighbor's boat. So you need to be a bit focused. Okay, we're on the way. Ok, j'arrive. On doit tourner la grue maintenant. Ouais, mais faut que je monte sur les câbles. Ah oui, oui. Il est dur à toucher là. Attends. À droite, c'est hyper dur. All right. I feel I have to explain what happened. I'm still shivering a little bit. And it's funny because when we were lifting the mast, I had a feeling. I literally saw the mast or the line breaking and falling down on the boat. And I was thinking, what would be the potential destruction if the mast would hit the boat? And a couple of seconds later, it happened. It fell about 2 or 3 meters, and then some rope stopped it from falling. And what really happened, what the guy said, is the assistant, not me, the assistant of the boss, who made the wrong knot. He didn't secure it, and that's very bad. It's negligence, of course. So I'm upset. But hey, they immediately apologized. They immediately accepted. They're just assessing the damage to the mast and they're replacing everything, like no questions asked. But still, I'm upset. Anyways, they reacted correctly after making a massive mistake. Nothing major happened, it seems. There's some parts are bent. The rail where the foresail goes up, that's bent, so he already ordered a new piece and will bring it in a couple of days. So I think we were extremely lucky. It could have been so much worse. Imagine somebody was standing underneath or on the boat. This could kill somebody. I don't even want to think about it. Other than that, we successfully lifted the mast off the boat, other than dropping the mast. And it's now there. Now they're carefully looking at the mast if there's any other damage. They do what they were meant to do, and that's replacing the rigging. And I know from their reaction they feel extremely sorry, and I know whatever is damaged they will reorder it and install it new. But yeah, just another day on the sailboat. And I had to come back because the tide's going out and there's not enough water there where the lift is, the crane is. So I'm going to stay here, and this evening we go back and we put the mast back onto the boat. Hallelujah, with a double knot. And to calm myself down, I also installed a water pump, exciting project. It was a really loud water pump, so whenever we switched the water on, a tap on, it made a noise, really brutal, waking up everybody. And this is supposed, this one, to be a not so loud one. Okay, let's see. Where's the pump switch? Forward pump. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that was black water. Oh, you still can hear it, of course. Like, but much nicer than the which was there before. So well worth the €8. So funny news story. We tried to install the cables for the mast, the rigging, and it turns out that the company who makes the mast, the big Swedish company, Selden, they send us all the wrong cables, even though they had the exact specifications for the boat. So we took the mast off, we went there, almost killed us the mast or killed the boat. Luckily, only minimal damage, but it was all for nothing because the cables, we couldn't install them because they're the wrong length. So we called this company, they apologized. Huge company, it's not just like a little thing, it's a huge company, it's not the rigger's fault. And they will now produce new cables, but it will take at least a week or 2 or 3, I don't know. Well, what a day, what a day. Yeah, very annoying. I didn't finish anything really because also the pump that I installed is actually leaking. It's one of these days where nothing works. The electrical winch doesn't work anymore. Yeah, not a successful day. I'm just gonna pack. So many things went wrong today and I was so excited. It's disappointing. But hey, no major damage, we're all alive. I think that's what counts. I'm gonna go home. If you follow this channel, you know that I am the hardworking person in this house, and Anna is having fun designing upstairs. But I'm still curious. I want to see what she's doing. It's me.
Hello.
Hey, you're designing. I'm hardworking and you're designing.
Yes, I'm designing, but I'm also doing something else actually.
Oh, what are you doing actually?
I'm working on relaunching my Home Print Academy.
Oh. I see.
I took a break last year. I wasn't going to actually relaunch it at all.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's what you told me.
That's what I told you. But I had a rethink, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, because I'm starting to work again on my first ever design, which was my rose wallpaper. And I've been thinking a lot about the sort of impact that had on me, even the sort of emotional effect that it had on me, the fact that it gave me this amazing opportunity to be creative and it enabled me to do that. That was what was also really good about my course. I enabled a lot of people who didn't feel creative to discover their creativity and build their confidence. I feel that it would be a real shame to not run that course. It's such a good course. I'm so proud of it.
And you said the course is so well made that even I would be able to make a wallpaper or textile print.
I think you really could.
But the course wasn't only about wallpaper, right? So if you don't want to make wallpaper, you can also...
No, not at all. Actually, I've had lots of students who have also done textile projects. They've made runners for their tables, they've made wall hangings, they've made cushions with their designs.
I think if you announce the course now, there's going to be a lot of questions about when it is. Maybe you want to say that?
Well, I'm still figuring that out.
Oh, okay.
Because it's early days. But I think it's going to be in the beginning of May.
I remember last year you had a sort of wait list for people to know when the course is and to sign up or something. Do you have that in place?
Well, I mean, you're going to sort that out
I'm going to sort it out.
before this video goes out.
Do I now?
Yeah, so that if anybody is interested in my course and knowing more about it, then you can just click the link in the description of this video and yeah, you can sign up to the mailing list.
Thanks to Philip.
Thanks to Philip.